Good evening and welcome to Future Forward. I'm your host, Isabel. Tonight we're exploring a question that divides opinions and challenges our priorities. It's a question about our future, our resources, and our very nature as human beings. The question is this: should governments continue to invest billions of dollars in space travel when we have so many urgent and serious problems right here on Earth? It's a debate about looking up at the stars versus looking at the world around us. To help us understand both sides of this important issue, we have two excellent guests with us tonight. First, arguing in favor of government investment in space travel, we have Dr. Kenji Tanaka. He's a respected astrophysicist who has worked on several international space missions. He believes that exploring space is essential for the progress of humanity. Welcome, Dr. Tanaka.
Thank you for having me, Isabel. I'm excited to be here.
And on the other side of the debate, we have Maria Flores. She's an economist and a well-known social advocate who has spent her career working on global development projects. She argues that our financial resources should be focused on solving problems on Earth first. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Isabel. It's an important conversation to have.
The format for tonight will be simple. Each guest will begin with an opening statement. After that, they'll have a chance to respond to each other's points in a discussion. Finally, they'll each provide a closing statement. So let's begin. Dr. Tanaka, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I want to start by saying that I understand the concerns about spending money on space. When people see suffering on Earth, it's natural to question sending rockets to Mars. But I believe this view is short-sighted. Investing in space is one of the best investments we can make in our own future, right here on Earth. My first point is about technological advancement. Many of the technologies that we depend on every single day came directly from space programs. The GPS in your phone that helps you find your way, that was developed for space. The satellites that give us accurate weather forecasts and save thousands of lives from hurricanes, they're a result of our work in space. Think about medical technology. The digital imaging systems used in hospitals to find diseases come from technology used to take pictures of distant galaxies. The materials developed to be strong and light for spacecraft are now used to make better artificial limbs for people who have lost an arm or a leg. The investment in space isn't lost in the stars. It comes back to Earth and improves our lives in countless ways. My second point is about inspiration and education. When we explore space, we capture the imagination of the world. Every time we land a rover on Mars or get new images of our universe, something amazing happens. Young people look up and they dream. They become interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, the STEM fields. This inspiration isn't just a nice feeling. It creates a generation of problem solvers. These are the people who will not only build the next generation of spacecraft, but also find new sources of clean energy, cure diseases, and build a better future for everyone. Space exploration fills the pipeline of talent that our world desperately needs. Finally, we must have a long-term perspective. All great societies in history were explorers. They pushed the boundaries of what was known. It's a fundamental part of being human to be curious and to explore. Furthermore, studying other planets helps us understand our own. By studying the atmosphere of Venus or the climate of Mars, we learn valuable information about the future of Earth's climate. It gives us a unique laboratory to understand our own home better. To stop exploring is to stop progressing. Investing in space is investing in technology, in our children's education, and in the long-term survival of our species. It's one of the most important things a government can do.
Thank you, Dr. Tanaka, for that strong opening. Now we'll hear the opposing view. Maria Flores, please share your opening statement.
Thank you, Isabel. And thank you, Dr. Tanaka. I agree that space is inspiring. It's beautiful, and it makes us dream. But we must wake up from those dreams and look at the reality we live in. And the reality is, that our house is on fire. When your house is on fire, you don't start planning a vacation. You grab a bucket of water. My main argument is about opportunity cost. This is a simple idea in economics. When you choose to spend money on one thing, you lose the opportunity to spend it on something else. And the costs of space exploration are enormous. A single mission to Mars can cost over $2 billion. Let's think about what that money could do here on Earth. $2 billion could provide clean drinking water for millions of people for their entire lives. It could build thousands of new schools in communities that have none. It could pay the salaries of tens of thousands of doctors and nurses in underserved areas for a year. When we choose to send a robot to another planet, we're choosing not to do these things. It's a direct choice, and we must be honest about that. My second point is about our urgent global crises. We're not talking about problems that might happen in the future. We're talking about emergencies that are happening right now. Climate change is causing extreme weather that kills people and destroys homes. There are hundreds of millions of people who go to bed hungry every night. We face the threat of global pandemics that require a strong, global healthcare system. These are the fires we need to put out. Spending billions on space travel feels like a deep insult to the people who are suffering. It tells them that our government's priority is to explore other worlds, instead of fixing this one. We have a moral responsibility to help the people who are alive today who need our help right now. Finally, I want to address Dr. Tanaka's point about technology. He says that we get useful inventions from space programs. This is sometimes true, but it's a very slow, expensive, and inefficient way to invent things. If we need better medical equipment, we should give money directly to medical researchers. If we need better water filters, we should hire engineers to invent better water filters. We shouldn't spend billions of dollars on a space program and just hope that we accidentally discover something useful for people on Earth. That's not a responsible plan. It's more logical and efficient to use our resources to solve a problem directly. Let's fund the solutions we need, not hope they fall from the sky. Our priority must be the well-being of people on our own planet.
Thank you, Maria, for that powerful statement. Now we move to the discussion part of our debate. You will both have a chance to respond directly to each other's arguments. Maria, you can begin.
Dr. Tanaka talks about inspiration. But I must ask, whose inspiration are we talking about? A child who is hungry, who cannot go to school because they have to work, or who is sick from drinking dirty water, cannot afford to dream about the stars. Their dreams are much closer to home. A full meal, a safe place to sleep, a chance to learn to read. Providing these basic human needs is true inspiration. It shows people that they matter, that their lives are important. That's a much more powerful message than a picture of a distant planet. We must provide the foundation of a decent life first. Only then can people truly be free to dream. And regarding the technology argument, he says we get useful things like GPS. But let's be honest about the history of these technologies. GPS was created primarily for military purposes, to guide missiles and track submarines. The civilian benefits we enjoy today were a secondary effect, not the main goal. It's an inefficient way to innovate for the public good. If our goal is to improve lives, let's invest directly in projects that improve lives, not in military or space projects that might have a small, accidental benefit for ordinary people years later.
Dr. Tanaka, your response?
Maria makes a very strong emotional point, and I respect her passion for helping people. But she presents a false choice. It's not a choice between feeding a child and exploring space. The amount of money governments spend on space exploration is a very small piece of the total budget. It's often less than 1%. Eliminating the space budget tomorrow wouldn't suddenly solve world hunger. The problems she describes are caused by complex issues like politics, conflict, and unfair distribution of resources, not by the small amount we spend on science. In fact, Space technology is one of our best tools to fight these problems. The satellites we send to space are essential for monitoring climate change. They help farmers in developing countries predict droughts and plant better crops. They help us manage natural disasters and get help to people faster. This is a direct benefit that saves lives on Earth. Her argument to focus only on today's problems is also dangerously short-sighted. Imagine if our ancestors had that attitude. Imagine if they said, "We have too many problems in our village, so we shouldn't explore over that mountain." We'd still be living in caves. Human progress depends on doing two things at the same time: solving the problems we have today and investing in science and exploration to prepare for the challenges of tomorrow. It's not an either-or situation. It must be both/and.
Thank you both. We're now moving to your closing statements. This is your final opportunity to summarize your position for our audience. Maria Flores, you may begin.
Over the course of this debate, we've heard about the dreams of space and the realities of Earth. The dream of exploring other worlds is exciting, but it can't be more important than the real needs of people. The challenges we face, a changing climate, extreme poverty, widespread disease, aren't small problems. They're the defining issues of our time. The money, the intelligence, and the energy we spend on space programs are resources that could be used to solve these problems. We have the brightest minds in the world working on how to get to Mars. Imagine if we asked them to work on how to provide clean energy for everyone on Earth instead. Imagine what they could achieve. My position is simple. We have a duty to fix our home before we try to find a new one. Let's be remembered as the generation that faced its problems with courage and compassion. Let's be the generation that invested in humanity, right here, on our beautiful and fragile planet, Earth.
Thank you, Maria. Dr. Tanaka, your closing statement, please.
Human history is a story of exploration. It's a story of looking over the next hill, crossing the next ocean, and reaching for the next star. This desire to explore isn't a distraction. It's the engine of our progress. It pushes us to be smarter, to be more creative, and to work together to achieve great things. Investing in space isn't turning our back on Earth. It's investing in a better future for Earth. The technology we create, the scientific knowledge we gain, and the young people we inspire are all essential for building a better world. It gives us perspective and helps us protect our own planet. To turn our back on the universe is to turn our back on our own potential and our own future. We must continue to explore, to learn, and to dream. We must reach for the stars, not just for what we'll find there, but for what the journey will make of us here on Earth.
Thank you, Dr. Tanaka, and thank you, Maria Flores, for a truly thought-provoking and passionate debate. You've given us two very different visions of our future. One that prioritizes fixing the immediate problems of our home, and one that believes reaching for the future is the best way to help us here and now. We hope this discussion has given all of you watching at home a lot to think about. The final decision, of course, is one we all must consider. Thank you for joining Future Forward.